So you guys might have guessed it, today is a road trip. We have to go back to Wyoming. I went back to Wyoming last weekend. I'll probably talk about that later on in the video. But anyways, I'm in Rexburg right now. We are driving the 2004 F150. And I guess this video is going to be a little bit about what it's like to drive a F150, an older F150, in 2018 on a road trip. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm gonna do is hit McDonald's though, because I am starving. Oh yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna get. This is gonna be an interesting video, interesting day. There's a nice BMW. Our turn, so I'm gonna move up and order. Maybe I'm gonna order. Can I get a number 9? This one's for you guys. So we are pulling across traffic onto a very busy street to try to get... Oh, this is my opportunity, so hold on, here we go. I promise you that never works. I sat there last time for like 20 minutes before I could get out. Alright guys, so we now are out of Rexburg. We just got off the interstate onto the highway into Ashton. The purpose of this video today, what I want to accomplish with this video, is talking about what it is like to drive an older F-150 in 2018, and especially what it is like to drive it on a long road trip. But it is definitely going to be something enjoyable. It's going to be fun. A very nice Challenger there. We're going to start our ascent up into Island Park, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Today's Friday, September, I believe, 27th. No, it's the 28th. So September 28th, I am headed home from Rexburg, Idaho, back to Wyoming to help my parents out. I went last weekend to help them on the same project. I'm going home this weekend, and of course I'm driving my 2004 F-150 FX4. So 2 weeks ago, this pickup had 163,400-ish miles on it. To date, it has 165,373 miles on it. So you can tell I've driven it a lot in the last 2 weeks, just over 2,000 miles. And honestly, the truck has run great. I have had a couple of hiccups with it in the past little bit, and I will get into that video shortly, or I'll talk about that in a different video. Today's video is dedicated solely upon what is it like to drive one of these older F-150s, especially the FX4 package, today in 2018. So I guess I really haven't introduced my pickup truck to you guys on the channel yet. I own and daily drive a 2004 F-150 Crew Cab FX4 package. And honestly, I love it. It is my dream vehicle, and it lives up to every one of my expectations. The previous owner was impeccable about how he maintained and kept it clean. So it is a very nice truck. I kind of just want to start with my first impressions of this pickup truck. So for those of you that don't know, I bought this truck about 1.5 years ago. I paid just over $9,000 for it. I definitely worked my tail off for this truck. This is my dream vehicle. And honestly, it lives up to it in every single way. It's just an amazing vehicle, even though it is 14 years old. So to me, this pickup offers the perfect mix of power and comfort. While driving on the highway, the first thing you're going to notice about it is how comfortable the ride actually is, and how smooth it drives. You're also going to notice that if it's been well maintained, it's going to pack plenty of power. And it is just going to be not only powerful, but also somewhat economical to drive. Now, it is a pickup truck, and it is older, so it's going to get around 20 miles to the gallon-ish on the highway if you're lucky. I am lucky, and this truck gets between 18 and 21 miles to the gallon. So do keep in mind that driving a pickup truck, especially an older truck, but really any truck, is going to be a little bit more costly in the pocketbook than it would be if you were driving a car or some other vehicle of that nature. The first time that I drove this pickup, I took it out onto the interstate, and I really did notice that it has plenty of power and that it is also very, very comfortable. Now, I wouldn't say that they're the best or the easiest to drive around in town. They don't like starting and stopping. I mean, they're heavy, they feel sluggish, that kind of thing. Honestly, a 14-year-old pickup truck really isn't that bad to drive in town. They have, for the most part, a good turning radius, they've got decent power, and they've got very good brakes, so you're not really going to notice a lack in those categories when driving in town. What you are going to notice though about a pickup truck, I think in general while driving in town, is the size and of course the length. They are very difficult to park, and they are very difficult to kind of maneuver through lots of traffic and whatnot. I think when people think of pickup trucks, they often think about the old or the classic stereotype to how driving a pickup truck used to be. It used to be something very slow. It was very, very rough, and you couldn't turn it, park it, or really see out of it anywhere. Today that stereotype's definitely changed. I think pickup trucks and large SUVs are among the smoothest vehicles to drive on highways, and that's because of their upgraded suspension systems, their larger tires, and their larger wheelbase on roads. So keep that in mind if you're considering a pickup truck over a car. And if you're considering the F150, especially the FX4 package, please do know that the ride is very, very good on the highway. Occasionally I'll hit bumps that I will feel more than other vehicles, and that's because the off-road side of this pickup truck takes over and it stiffens things up. I don't know why it decides to do it sometimes, and sometimes it's smooth, but I guess that's a perk of a 14-year-old truck. And as far as turning goes, these pickups do have a very good turning radius. Something that I do have to say about the F150, I think particularly the F150, especially the crew cab and the FX4 package, is taller, and it is very difficult to see out the back of when backing up. Let me get you a picture here of the mirror. See if I can do this. It is very, very difficult to see out the back of these vehicles, especially while in reverse. It is a challenge to tell how far you are away from something. Sometimes it looks like you're running over the top of the car behind you. Bloody car is braking. I don't know why. It's 70 miles an hour through here. Look at that view though. So I do have to say it is difficult to back up one of these pickup trucks, especially into tight parking spaces, because you simply do not know how far away from something you are. You just have to be a bit more careful and a bit slower about how you go about city driving. Now, having said that, on the highway they really do shine. The suspension in here, even being 14 years old, is amazing. It is very, very comfortable on the highway, and if I do decide to take it off-road, which I do very, very slowly and carefully, because I'm not going to damage my truck doing that, it is also very, very comfortable, especially with the clearance or the wheelbase on these. This particular truck has 18-inch tires, and Ford lifted it, I think, maybe 2 or 3 inches over the regular F-150 from the factory. So it is a very comfortable vehicle to drive on or off the highway. That's really what they're designed for, is either highway driving or off-road driving. The FX4, of course, is the off-road package. This back in 2004 would be, in a way, equivalent to what the Ford Raptor is today. It was the top-of-the-line package. They didn't soup up the engine or offer any upgrades there, but it did have upgraded suspension, and it has an automatic locking rear differential. Certain things like that do give it an advantage off-road over the regular F-150. I did want to talk a little bit about some of the features that Ford offered in this truck, or that these older trucks might have. Now keep in mind that they aren't going to have as many features as some of the newer vehicles offered today on the market. It comes equipped with power windows, power locks, and power mirrors on the outside. The driver's seat is also powered, but all the other seats in the truck are manual, the rear seat itself being non-adjustable. And Ford packed a pretty sick sound system. It's known as Ford's audiophile sound system, with a low-profile sub underneath the back seat behind the driver, which sounds amazing even 14 years later. I can't turn it up as high as I think you once could, but it still sounds really good. Ford's radio head is a double din, offering 6 CDs, and sadly no Bluetooth, and for some reason this one doesn't have an auxiliary input. You can see that the radio clearly has an aux marked, but if you push it, it says no aux audio. I'm not really sure why whoever bought that truck decided to leave that feature out. It has, of course, air conditioning and many options for different settings, different fan speeds, and it offers these swivel vents here that swivel this way and open up. And if you have the package with the center console, which I believe all FX4s do have, then you get 2 vents in the back for the rear seat as well. And of course, if you have the 4-wheel drive package, you're going to get almost a push-button 4-wheel drive, but really you just twist that knob there to go ahead and put it in. Of course, it also offers cruise control, which is operated here on the steering wheel. I kind of wish that these were radio controls instead, and that Ford had gone with the traditional method of cruise control on the actual blinker switch here. But honestly, it's okay. I don't find it that uncomfortable to use or anything like that. Ford did offer a key fob with their vehicles. I don't know if it's just my truck or if it's all of these trucks in general, but my key fob only works when I'm within like 6 feet of the truck. So that is kind of a pain, but it's there and it works very well. I'm glad that they decided to include remote unlocking. Now this truck does not have remote start. I know in some of the later models they did put that, but if you're gonna go with like an 03, 04, you're gonna miss out on some of those features. You're gonna have kind of just a simple basic truck, but hey, it works for me. It's super comfortable and it is super convenient and easy to drive. Of course, I've got 165,000 miles, and it also offers a trip here. And now I think I've talked enough. I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to be moving on into Yellowstone National Park. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Something that I do note about the F-150 in particular are its downshifts. They seem a little bit slower than in other vehicles. We're just having a rough camera day. I was talking about downshifts. It's nothing major, but it is something notable, is that if you do want it to downshift, you do have to push it down a bit more, and then it has to kind of sort out what you're wanting to do before it will actually take effect. Like I said, it's not annoying or anything like that, but it is worth noting. Another thing that I do notice about this truck in particular is that it is a 4-speed manual, is that they are 4-speed automatic transmissions. I really wish that Ford had put a gear in between 3rd and 2nd, because sometimes when you're going down hills, it would be nice to have that added shift, but you have to hand it to the Ford that it feels very solid and very comfortable while going up and down steep grades. It definitely is something to be noted that this particular pickup is a champ with mountain climbing. Plenty of power. Not going to get the best fuel economy while doing it, but plenty of power, and the Ford concept of downshifting on their automatic transmissions is very good. It doesn't just hold you in the gear, it actually allows downshifting in the transmission. The F-150 has been a champ this entire time. Let me shut the door so you can get a good look at her. There's a lot of YouTubers YouTubing about Lambos and about sports cars and things. There's not so many of us YouTubing about our trucks. What a gorgeous sight. Alright, we're coming down B Hill into Burlington right now. What a gorgeous view. For some reason I'm still not like comfortable filming in front of people that I know. I'm not sure who that was, but I know that they know me. Look, cows. So anyways, we're in Burlington. We're at the end of the journey. The truck was amazing. It really was a good trip, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this vlog as much as I have. If you have, smash that thumbs up. Leave any comments below. Tell me what you want to know, what you want to see, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no.